This is the 400 block of North Cypress Street in the city of Orange, right in the middle of the Orange Historic Barrio. And this is the location that Emigdio Vasquez, fine art painter and muralist, chose to paint his third mural, El Proletariado de Atzlan. The mural tells a story that is rich in culture and history of the Latino people and the laborers that lived and worked in this neighborhood. Emigdio Vasquez retired from painting in 2011, but with a lifetime legacy of over 22 murals and 400 fine art paintings, and also the legacy of a son with the ability to restore and paint his father's mural. When we come back, we'll meet Higgy Vasquez and learn more about the restoration of the mural, along with the life and times of Emigdio Vasquez.
My name is Higgy Vasquez, and I'm here to restore the mural that my father, Emigdio Vasquez, painted over 34 years ago. Chapman University purchased the building and was interested in restoring this mural to its original state. When I found the mural, it was in really poor shape. It had cracks, peels, chips. It had been graffitied, and I'm here to restore it. It's going to take about 6 months. And my job is to try to restore it as close as possible to the way it looked in 1979.
In the early stages of restoration, cracks must be drilled open. Large paint and decomposed stucco is scraped and removed. Holes in the wall are filled with cement and prepped to be restuccoed. A tree trunk at the corner of the building is also removed that impacts the garage foundation. With a two-sided mural that is 8.5 feet high and a total of 60 feet in length, the young Vasquez has a tremendous challenge ahead of him, not only to restore the mural to its original state, but to match and recreate the style and level of his father's original artwork. Chris Olson from Chapman University explains how the restoration came to be.
Well, due to the house being located in an area that we have an interest in, it's adjacent to one of our parking lots, we've been looking for homes that are along the perimeter of the university so we can house our staff and faculty. So it was natural that this house, when it eventually became for sale, which we did not pursue it, we were approached by the owner and asked if we wanted to purchase the home. It's actually a triplex. And we said, sure, we're interested in it. So we purchased it, and we know all along that there was something special about this place, and that's what was special about it is it has this historic mural on it. The mural we knew was very special, and so purchasing it, we knew that we had a responsibility to the mural to take care of it. So once we obtained the building, we did further research on the history of the mural. And first and foremost was to get more information on the artist. What was the impetus behind painting the mural in the first place? Was the artist still alive? Was the artist available to speak with us and also be interested in restoration, because there was some significant deterioration in the mural? And there had been vandalism over the years, and the substrate that it was painted on has decayed somewhat. So thankfully that we found that not only was the artist alive, but his son Higgy Vasquez was available to meet with us and was very interested in discussing restoration possibilities on the project.
Ruben Martinez speaks to the father-son relationship.
You know, the beauty of legends like him is that they start in the city of Orange, and he still lives there, and that mural that he painted years ago as a student is still in there, and his son now is bringing it back more vibrant than ever with the most beautiful colors and the most beautiful passion that came from his heart, and he's bringing back that emotion that will continue to stay in the city of Orange. And I'm very proud to say that that Chapman University has stepped up to the plate and supported and endorsed this mural. After all, both of them are in this beautiful city of Orange, California.
Most of my paintings, in a sense, deal with the barrio that I grew up in. In a sense, what I attempt to do is document a lot of the, events, things that I remember that were occurring there in the barrio as I was growing up. And I think that to some degree I've translated this same concern to some of my murals. A lot of my murals, of course, that I've painted, to some large degree I've painted it, in barrios throughout Orange County. And there I've also, attempted to deal with subject matter that to a large degree deals with the Chicano experience.
Already an established artist, the year 1979 was an important year for Emigdio Vasquez, as he completed his Master of Arts degree in art from Cal State Fullerton. At the age of 40, Vasquez painted the Cypress Street mural as part of his master's study. Especially personal to Vasquez, the mural was painted next to the Friendly Center Community Hall in the Orange Barrio on the street where he grew up and where he taught art classes. The mural evokes the Chicano history of his neighborhood and encompasses the style, topic matter, and themes that would become even more defined in the next 30 years of Vasquez's career as a social realist painter and documentarian. Born in Jerome, Arizona in 1939, Vasquez was 3 years old when his parents, Santiago and Lupe Vasquez, moved their 8 children to the Orange Barrio on Cypress Street in Orange, California. Like many families in the neighborhood, Santiago and Lupe Vasquez originally came from the rural province area of Santa Maria in central Mexico. Families came for work picking oranges, walnuts, and to find work as laborers. It was not uncommon for children to work in orange groves, as did Amigdale, his brothers and cousins, in the 1940s.
Father paints every subject. He's painted celebrities, he's painted, still lives and landscapes and cityscapes. A lot of the paintings he did for just to sell, and the ones that he doesn't sell, those are the ones that are coming from his heart. But he likes to go, bar scenes, the guys hanging out at the bars. He likes, painting homeless people, the grittiness, time in their faces. He used to paint a lot of Indians, and because he liked the texture of their skin, the depths of that person. He's painted sea captains, the way he paints beards and hair. I could spot his painting from a mile just by that, or a mural.
Back at the mural with the majority of the new stucco in place, Higgy paints layer upon layer of new primer to the patched areas. Due to the large size of the mural, it will take several days to complete the primering and blending process. The edges of stucco patch must be sanded and blended well to match the original stucco with no seams. This step is very important so that the mural surface blends well and becomes one to look like the original wall.
So far, I have repaired almost every crack. I have scraped, we have replaced stucco and reprimered areas, repainted. Now it's just a matter of details. Putting in all those little details that went into the mural originally.
The first thing you have to do is you have to come up with a concept or the idea of what you're going to do, you know. But then you got to go and research images, you know. And this involves going through a lot of books, finding photographs, this and that, you know. And then you do like sketch a layout. And then once you get your composition together, then you paint it, you know, you figure out the color scheme that you're going to use, you know.
Vasquez drew images for the Cypress Street mural from some of his favorite books, 450 Years of Chicano History, Mexico and the Southwest, a book he illustrated at Cal State Fullerton, and Huelga, a book about the Delano grape strike of 1965. Although Vasquez worked from pictures, they often were loose references, such as the silver miner. He adapted faces and then put in skin tones and color, resulting in poignant and beautiful images. Higgy utilizes the same photos and slides with prints of his father's work for reference as he proceeds character to character within the mural. The images come to life with great detail and color. Each character within the mural tells its own story and reflects its own unique beauty. Careful attention is paid to characters' expressions and to restore colors that have faded after 35 years in the brilliant sun. One of the most stunning images and favorites at the mural is the dramatic 8-foot Aztec warrior with a pyramid in the background. Stroke by stroke, Higgy brings back to life the historical headdress of the Aztec warrior. The warrior tells the tale of an ancient civilization. The story of an ancient world and heritage is preserved for future generations.
As we've matured as a university, just in the last decade or so, have we really gotten into historical preservation. And so that led us to really being interested in hearing what the Orange Barrio Historical Society had to say. And one of the things that they indicated was that there were some really key sites that was important to them. The Cypress Street Schoolhouse, the Villa Park Orchards packing plant, the Anaconda wire and cable company facility, because so many of the residents in the area were employed there, and the mural was important to them. And so we had these key things that we knew had value to them, and so we were very interested in finding out what they had to say about each. And the mural itself was very special to them, and they've been very interested once they knew that we actually ended up purchasing the property that the mural resided on.
The Old Orange Historic Barrio is located along the railroad tracks just north of Chapman Avenue in Orange. Chapman University has renovated and is currently restoring some of the historic buildings while maintaining the look and facades of the old landmarks. Starting at the 200 block is the Anaconda Wire and Cable Facility, then the old Villa Park Orchard Orange Packing Plant, the old Community Friendly Center, the Cypress Street Mural, and in the 600 block is the beautifully restored Cypress Street School located directly across from the Vasquez family home.
The intention of the forming of the organization was to preserve such a historical building such as the Cypress Street School, and preservation and record the history of the people that lived on the street, and primarily the people that attended the school through interviews and photographs. The mural was something that was painted, of course, by Emigdio in 1979. The big concern became when it was getting deteriorated, through age and unattendance. People were just not paying attention when grass tried to grow, trees covered it. So that's where it is today. Thank God for Chapman University that has bought that property, and they complied with what we had always desired, preservation of the area, as well as that mural that is so important.
There used to be a tenement area there, and they knocked it. My uncle bought some houses, apartment complexes on the 55 freeway widening in the 60s. They widened the freeway, and my uncle bought that property there on Cypress from the Lewis Trust, and he wanted to move those houses over to here, and which he did. Then my uncle told me that Emigdio approached him. He said he wanted to do a painting on the side of the garage. It's on the garage. I says, well, you think it's okay? He says, yeah, why not? He says, why not? You know, that's my interpretation of my uncle. Says, he said, why not? That's Fabian Cornejo on the property. And says, why not? It says, but he didn't know what he was going to paint. My uncle said, I don't know what he's going to paint. He's going to do a painting, that's all we know. So it says, but the neighborhood really was not into what he was going to paint. We didn't know. He used the persons that live here as models. And I can think they were proud to be in it. My brother was, my cousin was, Albert was, Willie Aranda is in it. He says, his granddaughter said, oh my, but Grandpa says that he was very proud to be on that paintings on the site. He said, so everybody was happy that he depicted them. Their faces are there. It might not be what they were doing, but their faces are there. So they were proud of that, you know, that he used the people he knew.
Rosemary Vasquez Tuttle was only 17 years old when she posed for the mural along with Hank Luna from the Friendly Center. Models for the mural, descendants of models, and relatives of models all came out for a day for a group photo to commemorate and reminisce about the old neighborhood. Daughters, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were all there to represent. Freddie and Carol Mendez, brother and sister, were also teenagers when Emigdio Vasquez painted them in the mural.
I'm proud to be in that mural.
It means a lot because the way this neighborhood was, it was an old neighborhood. It was a circle. That's why they call it Orange Barrio Circo in Spanish, because right here there was a store. The railroad tracks were right there. Trains would come this 3 feet from your backyard. You could touch the train. So we used to have Jamaicas here. The Friendly Center was in operation. It used to help a lot of people. It was just a whole different, it was a different era right here.
So fortunately, I can see some of these lines here. Unfortunately, I have a reference to work from. I see the highlight of the eye right there, and that'll help me make sure I place the eye in the right place.
Professor Gerald Padilla explains the meaning of El Proletariado de Atzlan.
What the mural is a reflection of this community, going back to Genesis. The concept of Atzlan, like on the mural we have the Aztec warrior. In the background we have a symbol of an Aztec city, Tenochtitlan or any other Aztec city. Atzlan. Atzlan is the mythical homeland of the Azteca people. They believe that they originated in a land to the north, Atzlan, land of the white heron, and that they then ventured on a journey. They were directed through a vision to go on a journey south. That journey south led them to today's Valley of Mexico, where they built their capital city, Tenochtitlan. But they originated in this place of the north, this mythical homeland called Atzlan. During the Chicano movement of the 1960s, Atzlan became a major concept. It means that you're working class, you're blue collar, you are the genesis of what eventually will become the professional group. Today, there's Chicanos that are descendants of people who were proletariats in this neighborhood that are now professional people. They're college teachers, they're lawyers, but this is where their parents generation, basically started, up, if you want to call it a socioeconomic ladder. They were people of this land. They were people of this community, people of this specific barrio. It's Atzlan. It's this mythical homeland of the Azteca people, but it's also the mythical homeland of Chicanos. So a Chicano is a mestizo that highlights the indigenous side of their dual identity.
Spanning a 30-year period that began in the late 1970s, Emigdio Vasquez was a prolific muralist and painter, creating almost one mural for every year and a half. Murals were concentrated primarily in Anaheim, Fullerton, Santa Ana, and included the cities of Placentia, Orange, and Irvine, California. In 1978, Emigdio Vasquez painted Memories of the Past, Images of the Present at the Ibero-American Market in Anaheim. This stunning mural was the largest mural he painted, 13 feet high and 106 feet long. This was the first of 7 murals that would be painted in the city of Anaheim. As an artist in residence in the 1980s at the Bowers Museum in Santa Ana, Emigdio Vasquez painted Visions of Orange County, an 8-foot-high and 85-foot-long mural. Due to expansion at the Bowers Museum, the mural was repainted in 1991 at the OCTD Santa Ana Transit Terminal at 400 West Santa Ana Boulevard. Another well-known mural, The Legacy of Cesar Chavez, was painted in 1997 at Santa Ana College. Cesar Chavez appears in many of Vasquez's murals. Along with his murals, he continued to work on paintings. He is often called the Chicano Rembrandt, the godfather of Chicano art, and El Maestro.
De todos los chingones te digo, Don Emigdio, el hijo de padres del mero Jalisco, es un gran pintor de puro chicanismo. Échale, compadre. Sus murales muy bellas, guardan nuestra historia, para mí, para ti, para todo el mundo. No se puede borrar el arte de Don Emigdio, porque lo que hace Emigdio Vasquez no se olviden. Ay, ay, ay.
Since I was only 11 years old when my father painted the mural, It was pretty exciting that I could return to the mural with my experience as an artist. Plus, being in the old neighborhood. Not only does this project mean a lot to me and my family, but it also means a lot to the people in this neighborhood. There was some concern about the mural and whether it was going to be moved or destroyed, so I'm really happy to say that the mural has been restored.
And as you grow up, you find out that, you know what, that you did acquire that talent that your father had. And the proof is there now, like father, like son. And so it's what a great history of a family there. Because I honestly feel that Emigdio Vasquez is a legend in the art world, in the people's world, in the Latino community, in the culture, forever.